तो अपने पास मात्र 27 मिनट है और करीब करीब 13-14 शोधार्थी हैं जिन्हें अपने पत्र पढ़ना है। तो मैं सोचता हूँ 2 से 3 मिनट का समय ले लेते हैं, पर 15 मिनट का अतिक्रमण कर लेंगे समय का, है ना? मैं आमंत्रित कर रहा हूँ सी वानालनी, यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ मद्रास, चेन्नई।
Allow me to stand before you here today. The title of my presentation is The Role of Media in Changing Public Opinion, How Tobacco Warning Labels Change Public Opinion on Tobacco as the Leading Cause of Cancer among Rural and Urban Cultures of Tobacco Sharing. The research was conducted at Mizoram Cancer Research Center in Aizawl. Culture has shaped our notion of what is right and wrong, just as we are biological beings and also we are cultural beings. So when an American is hungry, he eats burgers or other things. And when an Indian is hungry, he eats rice with curry or something else. So similarly, our view on tobacco has been shaped by culture. But then media comes in, and media has shaped the way we look at tobacco. So I will briefly summarize the research because there are 14 others behind me. In this research, we found that 85% of rural tobacco consumers who have been diagnosed with cancer and have come to the hospital for treatments have the belief that tobacco sharing is a sign of social unity and commensality and a community thing. However, men in urban centers who are in their same age group believe that there are other things that you can share when you get together in a community. So that's my slides done. The third point is smoking manly? Some cultures believe that the smoking form of tobacco is attached to the male side. 85% of our samples believe that smoking is manly, and 98% of men diagnosed with cancer still believe that smoking is not socially appropriate for women. And 65% of men who have already been diagnosed with cancer did not respond positively when they were rebuked for smoking in public. Let's look into the women's side. 87% of both men and women believe that it is more appropriate for women to consume non-smoking forms of tobacco. And 88% of women still believe that it is socially inappropriate for a woman to rebuke someone who smokes in public. And 72% of women still believe that, of both men and women still believe that the ability to prepare and serve tobacco at home is a sign of femininity, it's a sign of women affection. And 87% of women still believe that in a patriarchal society it is socially inappropriate to rebuke or not allow the husband to smoke at home. However, both these men and women group, when compared with their urban counterparts who have been exposed to warning labels earlier, showed a lesser trend of the opinion or the absence of these opinions. So the new warning labels. The warning labels have been introduced to India in the year 2009, but we see that most of the patients who were diagnosed with cancer today, who are about 50 years old, were already addicted and diagnosed with cancer directly linked to tobacco. 54% of the patients reported that the new warning labels have discouraged them from consuming tobacco. However, none of the patients reported quitting because of seeing these labels. The reason is simply these adults were already addicted and already diagnosed with cancer when these warning labels have come up. The last point, can a simple image change public opinion? So the public opinion was that smoking is okay, smoking is a man thing, sharing tobacco is a form of cultural social unity. But can the warning labels really change public opinion? The answer is yes. The warning labels have missed generations before us, but it has shown, research has shown that there is bright hope for changing the opinion of the younger generations. And also it has changed lots of the opinion of lots of patients in the cancer hospitals who are undergoing treatments right now. These are the patients who rejected the concept that tobacco is directly linked to cancer. They believe that no, it's not tobacco, it's the radiation that comes from the towers of the Airtel towers and such other things, but they did not want to admit tobacco. But after they were exposed to these tobacco warning labels, they have directly confessed their belief, their opinion that tobacco is directly linked to cancer. Thank you.
I wrote a paper comprising 5 pages, but considering the time limit, I think I should not be reading from it, rather just giving you the crux of what I have done. We just heard viewpoint of a sociologist on public media. So my paper deals with social media transforming communication and social interaction as a social media user. Plus, I would like to highlight some of the changes that it has brought about in our use of language, because as a teacher of language, I am expected to, give my some observations that how language has been influenced because of excessive use of social media. One cannot deny the fact that social media these days is becoming very popular, not only among the young generation, not only among the students, not only among the college going students or school going students, but also among the elderly people, senior people. They are also becoming very fond of WhatsApp, and almost like an addiction. Hey, WhatsApp me and follow me on Twitter. These are some of the expressions that we get to hear quite often these days. Now, one of the impact that it has caused upon the society is that the level of formality has come down to a great extent. Earlier, where people were very, you can say, closed, people had closed personality, they would not like to share everything that everything about them. There was some fixed kind of information that they would share with the people. Now these days, it has become almost like a fad, where people would like to share their photos, their profile, even simple information like, okay, I'm working on laptop, okay, I'm down with dengue, I'm suffering from fever. This shows the level of formality in sharing of the information that has decreased to quite an extent. Now, as a language user, I would say it has become very much like a spoken form of communication. Though in social media, we are using fingered speech. Fingered speech is a term which has been devised for the use of language that we use for texting. And this kind of language is very much different from the written communication that we usually have. Written communication is supposed to be very formal. But the kind of language that we are using for texting or over Facebook or Twitter, it is very much informal, it is very loose, and it is very telegraphic. So it is coming very close to the way we speak. So it has brought it very closer to our spoken communication. Besides that, we can see many neologisms which are becoming very popular. For example, selfie. Selfie is no word actually, but it has now become very popular, and everybody is very familiar and very comfortable with its use. This kind of slang use of language is no longer considered as a form of lack of proficiency. Even the word unfriended me, he unfriended me, there is no such word in grammar. And besides that, we can see so many acronyms which were earlier a form of which were earlier only the part of email communication, like LOL, GTG, be right back, ASAP. Now these ROFL, and sometimes if you don't know these words, you feel that you are not so updated with the technology. But actually, this is how the language has changed, and it is even you can say educated class, the older people, they are also trying to acquire this kind of knowledge of using slang languages, which is very much specific to social media. So just as to remain updated. Another thing is social reverberations. Another aspect that we can see, the change in the society that we can see is, though social media has brought us very closer, but it has denied us of the pleasure that meeting people actually gives you. See, the life that we have on social media is very much artificial, it's very superficial, and everyone who is a part of social media well realizes this fact. So even in the times of distress and miseries, they know that their physical company is what is more important rather than the social company. We may have a huge group of friends, but at the time of distress, it's only the family and the friends who are present with us that who can offer us real solace and real relief. So let's make social media only as an appendage to life and don't make it the life itself. Thank you.
Any last question?
Yes.
Now my question is to you. You said that the language that
Media and Masiha, reconciling relations in Bajrangi Bhaijaan. I would like to start my paper with a quotation of Charles Darwin. It is not the strongest of the species that survives, nor the most intelligent, but the most one responsible to the changes. In 21st century, media is emerging out as a revolutionary medium of communication to express emphatically what you want. Its major thrust is to manipulating and present the subject in a mesmerizing and hideous ways. But media contributes a significant role in creating bridges and text to make a convenient and smooth life. The boundaries that nations so assiduously built around them are steadily and rapidly being dismantled. Each of us have multiple identities, our physical self, the ones we keep on our office, and our virtual identities on the net. When Winston Churchill talked about the empires of future being the empires of the mind, the internet didn't exist, but Churchill's words are becoming reality. It is a revolution that is happening in fast forward and will influence the discourse and narrative on key issues that determines our life and relations between countries as a new change of enlightenment unfolds. More importantly, in the subcontinent, grandmother tales of partisan doctored history in textbook and traditional media reports on strife will recede as the main source of information is instant connectivity anytime, anywhere and any place. At present, humanity requires such Masiha, or you could say its role played by the media and a human being, one who have heartfelt generosity of its people, the ability to take a high ground when required and to be a source of help for anyone who knocks on their doors. Bajrangi Bhaijaan today stands as a shining example of how common people from across the borders can mend hearts broken over by divided borders. The title is a carefully assemblage of two cultures and religions, reflects fostering ties between the two nations. The hand that heals is the hand of God, be it from any country. The person who needs help does not care where the hand comes from. All the wants is to feel better or his loved ones to be feel better. If one wants to serve humanity and keen to restore the innocent smile, then nationality and religion doesn't matter. We know our borders are taut with tensions, but does a border really rule the hearts? What are borders? They are drawing lines between two lands and say, this is our and this is yours. But can one expect a being human to stay within those borders, knowing very well that the path of pleasure and the peace of the innocent child lies on the other side? I would like to, you could say, assimilate or conclude the whole story and the major scenes, as well as who reconcile the relations of Indo-Pak countries that became much more taut, not harmoniously, as well as a new kind of partnership should be created between, on the one hand, the political and parliamentary relationship. Thus, while strategies and methods of improving relations between India and Pakistan must use the new media in imaginative and adventurous ways, serious attention need to be continuously applied to the mainstream media. Media have a pivotal role in shaping a better future both within and between the Pakistan and media. I would like to end my views with a Hindi couplet, just as इंसान हो तुम तो इंसानियत दिखाना जरूरी है, जिंदा हो तुम तो जिंदा नजर आना जरूरी है. और इसी थिंकिंग के साथ इफ वी वांट टू रिकंसाइल द रिलेशंस ऑफ बोथ कंट्रीज इंडिया एंड पाकिस्तान, इट मे बी अ बेटर फ्यूचर बोथ ऑफ कंट्रीज। थैंक यू।
मीडिया और साहित्य के माध्यम से अफगान सोसाइटी के बारे में बता रही है नमिता सिंह, SS जैन सुबोध PG कॉलेज।
And I wish you all a very happy Gandhi Jayanti. The title of my paper is Afghan Society, a Comparative Analysis Through Media and Literature. I quote, if the Central Asian Society exists and it's meeting in 50 or 100 years hence, Afghanistan will be as vital and important a question as it is now. These lines, spoken by Lord Curzon in 1908, have proved prophetic almost a decade later in 2001, when on September 2011, the WTP in New York was destroyed. The Pentagon in Washington heavily damaged, and Afghanistan was rediscovered through the eyes of media and literature. Both the media and literature can be considered the work of art that shows the creativity of a writer, producer, or directors. But what Plato asserts about art is that a piece of art is the imitation of the idea and is twice removed from reality. According to Plato, it is idea that is real, but not the art. Though Aristotle took the favor of art by saying that an art also gives something more, which is absent in the actual. Both literature and media, in forms of novels, plays, stories or essays, films and documentaries, gives something more and plays a very important role in molding and reflecting the happenings of society. Hence, already removed from reality, when a novel is adapted into a film, it is thrice removed from reality, as stated in Plato's philosophy. This idea and its imitation in form of literature and media, and the concept of their removal from reality, set the tone of my paper. Here, Afghanistan serves as an idea. Its representation in the novel by Khalid Hosseini serves as an imitation twice removed from reality, and the cinematic adaptation of the novel serves as the imitation thrice removed from reality. Idea of Afghanistan, as I told earlier, came to the mind of the world at large on September 2011, when the WTP in New York was destroyed. This was the day when Afghanistan was placed back on the map. Ever since the Soviet withdrawal from Afghanistan in 1989, the outside world had forgotten about Afghanistan, a small state in South Central Asia, extremely deprived of the natural resources, inhabited by a vast population of the different ethnic groups who often use violence to solve their problems. Before terrorist attacks on the United States, the outside world cared less about what happened in Afghanistan. The United States and Western Europe left Afghans on their own devices and mercies that resulted in an extremely dark period in the history of Afghanistan. When the incident of 9/11 brought Afghanistan in limelight, and media and academic literature from outside the country started a frequent reporting on the condition of country and its people, both with criticism and with great sympathy for them. Various countries set up institutes in Kabul to study the history and archaeology of the country. There came a sound flow of publications that deal with innumerable aspects of Afghan society. One such writer came in limelight with his novels depicting the situation of Afghanistan is Khalid Hosseini, who, being an Afghan diaspora, attempted to present a picture of his country through his novels, The Kite Runner and 1,000 Splendid Suns. Here the Kite Runner is taken in consideration. Okay, I'll just speak about the difference between the movie and the novel. The Kite Runner, both in the form of novel and film, attempted to imitate the real-life situation of war-wicked Afghanistan, but there are some differences in the movie and the novel. The rape of Hassan, one of the protagonists, was described in full detail in the book, while in the film it was not shown but only implied. Hassan has a gypsy mother in the book that leaves and reappears later. The presence of Hassan's mother in the novel revealed an important aspect of Afghan society that was removed from the film. Asif, the antagonist in the novel, is known for the brass knuckles he wears. Since childhood, he idolized Adolf Hitler, and his mother is from Germany. That is also removed from the film. In the same way, Hassan is shown with a hair lip that was repaired by Amir's father on Hassan's 12th birthday as a gift. But in the film, Hassan is shown without hair lip that reduces the innocence of Hassan's face. Though having all these limitations, still the film has succeeded in providing
aesthetic delight to the readers, and able to communicate experience. It has profoundly expressed motion and well represented in the life of Afghanistan that is essential features of the work of art. I conclude that both media and literature in the form of the Kite Runner played a very important role in making the world aware of the agonies of Afghanistan and Afghans who have been stereotyped as terrorists after the incidents of 9/11. Both the forms were proved to be a great success in dispelling negative stereotypes about Afghans in Afghanistan. Thank you.
For generating political awareness among youth. Media plays an important role in politics as it influences public opinion, especially youth. It helps define and take up the issue. It can keep a powerful in check by seeking transparency in their action. Social media has changed the ways of giving information to the youth. It has also bring a change in the political scenario of a country at a very faster pace. When an issue is discussed in social media circle, it is liked, shared and commented by a youth who help in building the environment for shaping public opinion. Political media is an excellent tool for politicians to get social. Not only they interact with the youth, they can also have a chance to get instant feedbacks. The rapid growth of social media in recent years means people are exposed to the abundance of information every day. The two most popular social media outlets, that is Facebook and Twitter, provides vast amount of political information from news and politics to political campaigns. And young people who are termed as heavy social media users are exposed to this information. Social media space acts like a barometer of one's popularity. The number of Facebook fans or the likes or the number of retweets, the number of comments on the blogs are considered to judge one's popularity among youth. A large number of people follow Narendra Modi and Shashi Tharoor on Twitter. PM Narendra Modi regularly posts his currents happening on Twitter and even asks the followers to comment upon them. Swashma Swaraj has recently launched a link on YouTube which she uploads various videos of her statements, public rallies, etc. And one of the reasons of Congress party failure in the recent elections may be its lack of presence in the social media circle. On one hand, social media is providing a platform to aware the youth regarding the activities of political parties, and on the other hand, it is also a very good, powerful tool for publicity. To conclude, I would like to say social media has played and will continue to play a significant role in political arena. Thank you.
Its role of media in creating awareness of the right of the displaced people. The rapid expansion and new breakthroughs in the arena of development has taken humankind into new age. The developments have both pros and cons. On the one hand, while technological development have eased out human life, at the other, it imposes suffering on some section of the society. To pave the way for development, some people are being displaced from their homes and the productive asset that may be the commercial or the agricultural land. But in today's modern paradigm, we talk about the development in terms of the poverty reduction, in terms of reducing the inequalities and the sustainable development. So the precondition for the inclusive development is that the affected people should be benefited from the development projects. At this junction, the role of media is very important and worthwhile. In this modern knowledge society, media act as a facilitator of development, disseminator of information, and is an agent of social change. So, related to the development-induced displacement, media can take very important initiative at 3 levels. Firstly, through empowering the displaced and the project-affected people by creating the awareness about their social and legal rights related to rehabilitation and the compensation which they can really demand from the government. Secondly, it can fill the communication gap between the project authorities and the displaced people by putting their actual problem in the ear of policymakers. Thirdly, media can really act as a solution provider through conducting various interviews by the experts and through the publication of the articles, so that a state government or any project authority which is doing the displacement can find out the solution to minimize it. In the history of development-induced displacement, the first serious protest was being in the Sardar Sarovar Dam, in which media played a very important role along with social activists. In Rajasthan also, following the footsteps, there were several protests in the Barmer refineries, then in the Bisalpur Dam and the Sita Mata Sanctuary. It created awareness on the problems of project affected people by raising different issues of their livelihood rights, distinction between the rehabilitation and the resettlement, as well as the most important issue which was raised by the media, that the compensation should not just be restricted to the monetary one. So I'll conclude in few lines that in my research, I found that in the Jaipur metro, which displaced people, media played a very important role in getting the land of those who were not having their land titles. So I'll conclude by saying that whosoever controls the media controls the mind through diffusion of real and pseudo-realities. Thank you.
इसके पूर्व के मैं कहेगा भारत
The paper title is Role of Mass Media in Political Socialization of Youth. Political socialization is a dynamic and a continuous process based on the primary and the secondary institution which can affect the political viewpoints and attitudes of an individual during the different stage of life. Media play an important role to create political awareness among the youth. Mass media have been considered a powerful agent of political socialization, affecting the political attitudes and behaviors of voters and non-voters. Media is the source of information which not only affect the daily activities of human life but also provide information about other events like the development taking place on national and the international forum. The capacity of the mass media to socialize people to politics has grown massively, and the number of media outlets has increased, and new technology allows for more interactive media experience. Young people using this form of media have greater control over their own political socialization. They can choose to follow politics through a Facebook group that consists largely of close friends and associate with a similar viewpoint, or they may decide to political material altogether. Young people, even those who have not reached the voting age, can be involved in election campaigns by using social media to contribute their own commentary and video online. The rising level of literacy has changed the outlook of the youth, and at last, mass media provide a platform for the citizen to engage in political debates and to engage activity in political process. Thank you.
Of sanitation condition in Rajasthan and role of media with reference to Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. Swachh Bharat Abhiyan started on 2nd October at Rajpath in Delhi. At the time of launch this drive, Shri Narendra Modi said, "A clean India would be the best tribute India could pay to Mahatma Gandhi on his 150th birthday anniversary 2019."
आप सीधा कंक्लूजन पे आ जाओ, ये बैकग्राउंड छोड़ के सीधा कंक्लूजन बता दो बस।
A study conducted in 3 villages, Devnagar, Madhurajpur and Mohanpura of Pali Panchayat Samiti in Jaipur district. It has been recorded that 80% of primary government schools have newly built toilets. But it has also been observed they are not being used and kept locked. Toilets are kept open only at the time of inspection. The reason behind this phenomena is unavailability of water required to maintain toilets clean. Other reason behind it, there is no person appointed for cleaning toilets. Above mentioned point is a big issue in the village of Rajasthan where caste system is deeply rooted. And there is no media coverage found on these significant issues which are discussed in this paper. Thank you.
My presentation topic is role of media in promoting alcohol consumption. Cinema is a medium which was introduced with the purpose to educate, inform and entertain. However, there are many transitions that have taken place in the present phase of cinema as compared to its past. A crystal image is appearing before us all of the role of cinema in the process of social transformation. For instance, the glorification of alcohol consumption in Indian cinema is now emerging as a trend. The trend which is unfortunately in a great acceptance. A distinct culture can be observed as an impact of mass media in the society. The viewers follow their role models that usually are film stars, rock musicians, sportsmen and models. They imitate their lifestyles, lingo, habits such as visiting pubs, going to discos, smoking, drug abuse, drinking, etc. Perhaps in this midst of fun, they are unaware of what all adverse effects they can face and what's the difference between good and the bad. In recent times, the influence of alcohol on Bollywood music lyrics can be seen as quite dominant. Many famous and desirable singers and lyric composers are continuously using some ultra-abusive songs just to get noticed, and at the same time advocating the youth that drinking alcohol and abusing a woman is now the only fun left. This forges a big question to cinema world that what's the social learning part for the children, teenagers and the youth of our society. Thus, this paper seeks to determine a widespread concern about the effects of a faulty segment of cinema for the portrayals of alcohol consumption, drinking or even any other substance use which displays the on-screen character as cool, stylized, fashionable and a cheerful personality. So, as a part of suggestion, there is a need to focus on what is portrayed in the medium of entertainment. Thank you.
Ritu Singh.
Teachers and my colleagues. My topic is role of media in creating awareness about climate change and sustainable development. Climate change debates are no longer privileged. Today, these issues make headlines in print and electronic media. Global warming and climate change are the hot topic in the global mass media. Both the government and the people depend on communication and mass media not only for disseminating information but also in setting agenda for the development. Hence, communication media become powerful tool for disseminating information and diffusion of innovations. It is high time to save the depleting natural resource and discourage the irrational usage of natural resources by focusing on sustainable development. Media play a vital role in educating and enlightening the people and the government to preserve natural resources. Sustainable development is attained by protecting the environment in a judicious use of natural resources. The role of communication and mass media is immense in climate change and sustainable development. I examine how multi-scale factors have shaped media coverage in complex, dynamic and non-linear ways. Climate change is one of the major challenges facing mankind in this era. Media is a mirror of the world. We are living in a mediated world. The environmental problems which threaten the present day existence as the future of humanity are brought to people's notice by the media. Straight reports, discussion, photo features and articles by experts help informing the people about different aspects of climate change issues. This article provides an overview of existing research on the media of climate change and highlighting major research on the media. Now, I will conclude from the abstract that the modern way of living is aggravating the planet. Notwithstanding climate change and environmental pollution remains for decades. Research indicates that little is done regarding the communication of such scientific results, their impact on ecology, health, and enhancement of the public environmental awareness. People need to take individual and social responsibility regarding with nature and determine new terms like quality of living, traveling, and healthy living. They need to enhance their environmental awareness. Since digital media are used widely by young people, new educational material should be created by universities and the governmental organizations in order to meet the updated needs for information concerning environmental issues. Thank you so much.
Honorable Chairperson, teachers and all the participants. I am here to present a paper on the topic Role of Media in Shaping Healthy Democracy. As we all know, democracy means a system of government in which all the people of a country can vote to elect their representatives. Media came into existence in 1780 with the introduction of a newspaper, namely the Bengal Gazette, and since then it has matured leaps and bounds. Both mass media and social media plays a crucial role in shaping healthy democracy. Media makes people aware of various social, political and economical activities. It is like a mirror which shows or strives to show the bare truth and harsh realities of life. The media has undoubtedly evolved and become more active over the years. Nowadays, many online government websites have come, like sites on Indian Railways, sites on Ministry of Home Affairs, sites on Union Public Service Commission, which provide relevant information. It is the media only who reminds politicians about their unfulfilled promise at the time of elections. TV news channels' excessive coverage during elections helps people, especially illiterates, in electing the right person to the power. This reminder compels the politicians to be up to their promises. Also, before elections, phones and social sites like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram are flooded with pictures and messages relating to politicians. The recent example of this is Narendra Modi, who won the election as social media played a significant role in making him much popular among the youth. Arvind Kejriwal and Anna Hazare also gained much popularity through social media. Today, many people are huge followers of them because social media have made them very popular by emphasizing on their work and their different perspective towards the prevailing system of government. Also, television and radio have made a significant achievement in educating rural illiterate masses. All the major news is in Telugu language in this famous channel Raj News Telugu, and there is also a channel ETV Rajasthan, in which the news is in Marwari language so that local people can understand. So the media also exposes loopholes in the democratic system, which ultimately helps government in filling the vacuums of loopholes and making the system more accountable, responsive and citizen friendly. A democracy without media is like a vehicle without wheels. So to conclude, no one is perfect in this world, and so is the media. There is still a lot of scope for improvement by which media can raise up to the aspirations of the people for which it is meant. One cannot think of a democracy without active and neutral media. Media is like a watchdog in a democracy that keeps government active. From being just an informer, it has become an integral part of our daily life. Thank you.
Awareness on environmental issues. Okay, cutting it really short. We all are aware that our environment is at risk today. Some of the most popular environmental issues are pollution, climate change, global warming, overpopulation and acid rain. Experts believe that we have the capability of transforming the present stage. The question here is, how will people know that the environment is at stake? An effective solution is joining hands with mass media for spreading awareness and receiving effective involvement of public. Mass media allows people worldwide to communicate more easily. In India, television and radio are more effective because it reaches to the illiterate population of the country. Some of the most popular examples where media played an important role in generating environmental awareness was Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. The popularization of Swachh Bharat Abhiyan was done by media. Just quoting the end with the small example, it is very hard for one person to make a change, but if 999 people join in doing so, change will surely be there. This change can happen with the help of media. Media channels allows free flow of information and services around the world, giving a broader perspective of the world and bringing people together. Thank you.
Ashwin Kausar, IIS University.
My topic is how media helps in facilitating social transformation. The media, the most powerful entity on earth, they have the power to make the innocent guilty and to make guilty innocent, and that's power. They control the mind of the masses, said by Malcolm X. During the freedom movement, media was perceived to be a mission. Mahatma Gandhi, Lokmanya Tilak, Rajpat Rai and Veer Savarkar used the media to inform and educate masses, to involve them in the great endeavor to free India from the foreign yoke. After independence, the business houses saw in the newspaper industry an opportunity not only to earn money but also to acquire political clout. Media
Media person too conveniently forget the mission and look upon journalism as a profession. There's nothing wrong in this perception if the practitioners of this profession remember that it is not a vehicle to acquire political clout for petty personal ends. It's a profession through which one can earn his livelihood as well as serve the society. Media everywhere in the world, whether print or audio, visual, act as a watchdog for the society. It's a witness to things, an eye of the world, things changing faster or for the better when everyone is watching. The concept of community is not limited by topographical and demographical issues. People can now gather virtually in an online community and share a common platform with some interest. Indian society going under constant change. It is media through which any movement get momentum more effectively and efficiently. Things which were stigmatized and tabooed in the society are discussed thoroughly and openly. For example, homosexuality, child sex abuse, living relationship, pornography, and people start to think critically about such issues. It also brings awareness by promoting programs like Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao, Go Green, Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, Family Planning, Hum Do Hamare Do, Kuposhan Bharat Chodo, and it helps to transform society for a better change. Media is not only a mirror of the society but also an instrument of social change. Its job is to reflect the aspiration of the people and to spread noble ideas, because ideas are infectious. They can spark from the remotest corner of the world and spread like wildfire. It must expose social evil and stereotype and help in their eradication. It is the responsibility to critically examine facts and to project them in an objective manner without fear of failure. Lastly, job of the media is to uplift human mind. Social media by itself will not change education. That responsibility lies with the people who use it. But change starts with desire, and social media can provide information which may lead to a desire to change. Thank you.
My topic of presentation is development journalism, the need of the hour. Everyone here is largely sharing their views focused on social media. But not only social media, traditional journalism is also connected to social transformation. Though it can be less impactful, but it is an evergreen medium. This is a newcomer in the field of journalism, but it is capable of molding infrastructure of society. Development journalism got its shape in 1968. Development journalism largely covers development projects, providing a critical coverage of plannings and educating masses to the same in the positive way. Now the objective of development journalism is also to transform a negative aspect of life to a much more positive point of view. In conclusion, development journalism is definitely the need of the hour. It can be certainly helpful in development and transformation of the society in a positive way, by giving right shape to its projects and schemes, by redirecting them to required class. Newspapers should give priority to such positive and foremost segment of journalism rather than struggling with yellow journalism. Development journalism carries gigantic responsibility and can change the way society sees it. Women development is an issue which is prominently neglected in the race. Newspapers should try to draw heed to such important concerns. Here quoting some example as an initiative of coverage of women development issues published on 1st October 2012 in Times of India, that said, in a first sarpanch to be trained in dealing with gender issues. Second one says healthcare claims falls flat as women gave birth on road. Another example of Rajasthan Patrika starting a movement that said Beti Bachao. In my point of view, the development journalism can really be a strong source to move social ideology from negative to much positive aspect of life circle. Thank you.
The role of media in promoting gender equality. Among all the information and misinformation present in media, one particularly damaging representation is that of male and female roles. By including more and more important female roles, the media can avoid portrayal of perception of gender roles. Some ways of doing so are by news hour debates, advertisements, campaigns and blogs, and promotion by celebrities. News hour debates. These are debates organized by news channels on various issues in the country. A few debates on gender equality are debates of unequal pay of men and women, sexist university rules. Advertisements, campaigns and blogs. A few examples of campaigns and ads are Emma Watson's He for She campaign, which is about freedom of women, Deepika Padukone's My Life, My Choice video, which calls for change in the caged mindset of men about women and asking them to stop judging women for their choices of clothes, profession and life. Some blogs are thegenderblog.com and Women's Blog. Promotion by celebrities. Social learning theory states that people learn from one another via observation, imitation and modeling. To name a few, Ashton Kutcher, Aamir Khan and some movies which promote gender equality are Queen and Mardani. To sum it up, I'd like to say, media has improved greatly in the past few years. Women are slowly gaining leading roles and it is not uncommon to see men and women depicted as equals, working alongside each other in equally challenging settings. However, this is not yet a standard in an entertainment industry. Women and men are still interpreted as stereotypes in the majority of media. This stereotype becomes embedded in the human mind and is passed from generation to another as an acceptable view of male and female gender roles. A lot more needs to be done to promote gender equality. Many more campaigns and events need to be organized and many people need to come up and take the initiative for the same. Thank you.